This conference will now be recorded.
So in the last class, we are able to deploy your, how to say, like ARM tablet successfully using your portal level, right? And so we would like to run the same thing using your AZ commands, I believe. So let me check it out. How so? I believe I mentioned the syntax somewhere. Something I believe did not save everything. Not a problem. So what is syntax? To run a command, basic command to run, your ARM template with respect to my, AZ commands in here. Yeah, here we mentioned. Very good. So how can you run it? AZ command. So we can mention using the same concept like, AZ and the here ARM template. We do not mention the template name in here, but you see it's a deployment group. So deployment group internally, it means it's a AZ or it's ARM template you're trying to create in here. So what I'm trying to create my ARM template. So what's the name? So the process what you're trying to go ahead. So here I'm trying to deploy my virtual machine. You can provide any name in here. This is just the name of the process of your, or you're trying to provide the name of your deployment group in here. That's it. This is not your ARM template name in here. This is just name you're trying to provide for your deployment group, what you're trying to create in here. So once you mention your deployment in here, the name in here, now you have to mention your resource group for sure. Because if you remember, when you're trying to go with your portal level, we created your new resource group, or we chose the existing resource group. So without having your new resource group, or without having the existing resource group in here, I cannot have my ARM template to be deployed, because within my ARM template, whatever you see mostly, the location part, or the some kind of names are derived using a resource group ID or resource group location in here. For that reason being, you have to provide the name which is already existing in the new subscription level. So to provide the name of your resource group, what is syntax have to follow? Hyphen hyphen the resource group in here. This is the main point. And next, the template name. So template name you have to mention like hyphen hyphen template, and just provide the name like the name of that file what we have in here. So I'm trying to go with my ARM templates. My code templates, and here we have, right? So let me try to run this particular template in here, so that I can go and try to create my, a virtual machine with respect to my Windows system what I have in here. So I'm trying to go all the things, same thing. I'm not making any changes in here. So let me go ahead and exit this one. So where these particular templates are existing currently within my folder in here. So go ahead, copy the path, open your command prompt, navigate to D drive, and now when you set directory in here, I'll be able to see all the things what I have in here. So now as per my things, what is syntax after follow? It's AZ deployment group create. But before that, let me check, do we have any resource group available or not? So what is syntax for that? AZ group list hyphen O table. Hit on enter. So let's see, if it is not there, then we have to create a resource group first, and then we can use that existing resource group to our respective ARM template what we have in here. Yeah, I don't see any output in here. That means, there's no resource group existing. So let me create my resource group first. AZ group create hyphen hyphen resource hyphen group name. So here I'm going to go with my VRIT hyphen RG, and also my location hyphen hyphen location. I'm going to go with my East US. Waiting on enter, so that it will go ahead and will try to create my resource group with my location. Yeah, we are at hyphen RG within the same East US location here successfully. So now I'm trying to go and restart my group one more time to confirm. Yes, I can see my VRIT now it's available in here. Now let's go ahead and try to run your ARM template using the AZ command. So how do you go with AZ? So small letters AZ deployment group, and I would like to create. So here what we have to do, we have to provide the name of a deployment group. For that reason, we hyphen name equals to, I'm trying to go with VM hyphen deploy. This is my name of my deployment group in here. So later on, I have to provide my resource group name, right? So let's go back here. See, I provide my name. Now I need to provide my resource group name along with my template. So I'm trying to copy the whole thing and paste it in here. So VM deploy underscore ARM. Let me check the name. VM deploy underscore ARM dot JSON format. Yeah, it's looking perfect. So this is the syntax you have to follow. Okay, now hit on enter. So once we hit on enter, now yeah, some issue we have, some syntax error probably. Ambiguous option template could not match. Oh yeah, so you have to mention like template file. So this is the word that expecting in here. So let me make this particular part to be changed in here. So template hyphen file, space, and provide the things in here. Let me go ahead, let me, and template hyphen file, and hit on enter. Yeah, now it's asking for my admin name, username in here. So because within your ARM template you do not have values for my username and my password. So see here, parameters, username, I don't have my values in here, or my password, I don't have my values in here. For that reason being, it's asking for the username and password. So go ahead and provide the name VRIT admin as my user ID, and a password capital VRIT admin at the rate of 1 2 3 4 and 5. You will not see the password displayed, so hit on enter now. So using this user ID and password, now it go ahead and it will try to run the things for us. It start running your command where it will try to start creating your virtual machine in here with the name as per the things what you have within your ARM template. Okay, so there's a small change in syntax in here, and the change is what you have to go with template hyphen file. This is a small change in here. So this is the syntax you have to follow to run your command, using your easy command to run your the ARM template what we have in here. So let me check it out. Yeah, it's running very good. It's running in here. So once this is done, you can go ahead and you can see a new. Meanwhile, let me go back to my account so that I can see whether my things are available or not. I mean, it's been started creating or not in here. So, go to a portal level, open your virtual machines. Yeah, still I don't see anything is coming up in here. So it should come up quickly. Okay, so this may take a little bit time to create your virtual machine. So meanwhile, let's talk about the other part. So now what you have in here, so of course you don't have username and password, that's okay, because I can't mention that within my ARM template, because it should not be accessible or it should not be open to all. Very good. Next we have something, I have my public IP name. So we can see my some hard coding values in here, or we can see something like hard coding values for operating system in here, or the VM size has been hard coded. The location anyway, it's come from a resource group. I'm not touching this one. My VM name has been hard coded. So when you want to recreate a new thing, so I want to rerun this same VM deploy ARM again one more time, but with the new values. So generally what you do, you go ahead and try to know, you have to make sure you have to change your VM name in here. If it is this a change in your size name, you have to change the size name in here. If there is a change in your OS operating system, you have to change in here as well. And this may be your standard. If you want to choose standard, you have to change here from basics to standard in here. So all these things, every time you have to go and change the things, so which is not really correct to go with. So what I want is like, I don't want to touch my ARM template at all. So when I want to create a new VM, when I want to go with the new things in here, I want to go with some kind of called as a parameterization. That means I don't want to mention my the values directly in here. So let me remove the values in here. So what are the values I don't want to have? So let me remove it everything in here. For example, I'm trying to show you. So what does it mean? When you do not have values in here, then based upon what it will try to print, based upon what size it will take in here, or similarly, if I remove my name of my VM in here, based upon what name your virtual machine will be created, so it's not correct. That means from somewhere my values should come and should sit on in here. Then only my new VM will be created. So from where it has been coming. So if you remove your values from here, then from where it has been coming in here. So that the place from where you're trying to pull your values, that place is called as your parameter file in here. So I'm trying to exit this one, do not save it. Oh, I have some issue in here. Failed. At least one resource deployment failed. Deployment operations, C code conflict. Mm, Probably what's the issue here? Let me get the fresh ARM template. ARM template. The same thing I have in here. Very good. So let me go ahead and copy the things. Control C, go back here, delete it and paste it and save it. Same thing I have again. Let me run one more time. VRIT admin, capital VRIT admin at the rate of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So now we're getting back to things in here. So the other way, what I do see here, I'm trying to double click on this particular new one. So this is again the same old one. This is again the same old one, but the thing is like I have removed some values in it. See, I don't have my public IP name. I have removed it. Similarly, I have removed my OS version. I don't have my allowed values as well. I totally removed that. And I have my VM size has been removed. My VM name has been removed. So these values from where I should get these things in here. So those values I'm trying to pull from my new concept called as a parameterization. So this is a parameter file you have in here where I'm trying to provide my values within my, within my parameter file. So your user ID, your password, your OS version, your VM size, your public IP location. I think location is not a, I did not touch this location here. Let me check the location. Location will be here. Even location, I removed very good. No problem. So my VM location, so this is should be east to west because my VR at hyphen has been created in my east west in here. So east west, and I'm trying to create a VRIT hyphen VM. So this is my parameters. So how do I get this particular template? Again, the same old method. Go to Google and try to find the template for that. So I would say here parameter. Let me try to remove this one. Parameter file ARM template. Okay, parameter file ARM template. Then you click on the icon, the link, the first link in here. So they'll try to provide you the way to handle the things in here. So the parameter type formats. So this is the example they provide. So the same thing I copied it and I'm trying to use it. So in here you have to mention your. You see, I try to place my thing in parallel in here. See, the schema, your deployment, everything is same in here. So now for the first thing, example int you have in here, what that means they're trying to ask you the first value. What is the first value? That means the value should be here. They provide something 4 in here, but for us it's oh sorry, this is the first value. The value will be we are at 8. So this will be enclosed with a curly bracket open and close and again with comma. So again, so you can have one more. So similar to this, you can continue the same thing in here. So whatever you have in here, just pull from here. So right from parameters, see, this is what they have. This is the main concept they have in here. Right from parameters, your first value, your second value, your third value. So you keep on moving until you complete all the things in here. The same thing I've done in here as well. See the content and schema. The content and the schema exactly same. The only thing what I have done is like instead of example int in here, example bool, example. So they're trying to give you examples for how can you provide the values for booleans, how can you provide the values for integer, how can you provide the value for your strings in here. So most of us in here everything will be strings only mostly for us. See, everything is strings only. So I can say that we can go the same example, you can repeat the same step again and again. But they provided you example if you want to provide a value like integer, if you want to provide the like boolean, if you want to provide the values like array between the square brackets open and close in here. So you can go with some kind of things in here. So using the same example, what I have done, I created my own parameter file in here. So the same thing. So this one, what you have to make sure is like whatever the values you have with respect to my, yeah, now it's done. Very good. What are the values I have with respect to my parameter? See here, location. Exactly it should match my in my location in here. So not even single space or dot. Don't try to go. So try to copy the exact name and try to provide the things in here because here within your parameter file, no way we are mentioning the ARM template name. So go ahead and tag your ARM template in here. No way. So, but we are trying to tag, we're trying to have this particular parameter file separately, and we'll try to have your VM ARM parameter file, this particular part in a separate file. So this is separate file, and this is a parameter separate file in here. So both the things can be tagged while you're writing your syntax. That's it. So you will not be tagging the things within your parameter files or within your ARM template. You will not mention that go and take the values from parameter files, or within your parameter you will not mention that go and take the values, push your values to your so and so ARM template. So in either of the cases, you will not mention anything in here. So the tagging will be done only when you're trying to write your command line in here. Okay. So this is what we have. So we can see my virtual machine got created successfully in here. Okay, so if you go back to my portal, refresh your page, see simple VM got created successfully in here, and I can see my IP address, its running mode, and everything is looking good for me. Correct. So similarly, now what I want to do, I want to run with respect to my parameterization. So earlier I ran with the hard-coded values in here. But going forward, now in generally we will not use hard-coded values in the ARM template because every time when you're trying to run them, you have to make a change of all the values, which is not really correct, touching your ARM template every time. So for that reason being, I would like to go with my parameterization system. So now to run the things, what I have to do, make the change in the code level. So this is the actual name with respect to my template file. Here I have to mention hyphen file, and the name should be this one. VM create parameter.json hyphen fm parameters at the rate of the parameter file name. Go ahead, copy it, and I believe we already have my VR. Let me try to create your this VM in a new resource group. Let me see that, check that one here. So let me try to create my new resource group in my ES2S only, but this should be something like DevOps. Yeah. Now let me list out. I should see two things. DevOps -RG. Yes, perfect. Now I'm trying to use the same thing in place of my resource group in here. So create VM deploy resource group template file with new name. Yeah, everything looks good. Go ahead, copy this syntax and paste it here. Okay, so now hit on enter. So now it will never ask you any username or password even. Why? Because within the parameter file, I have mentioned my username and password in here itself. See, my username is so and so, my password is so and so. Everything I have mentioned here only. So it will never ask me. Directly go and start running the things in here. Earlier it asked me, can you please provide user ID and password? But now it never asks that even. So when you trying to make a new changes within your one parameter file, that's it. Automatically I can see new things coming up in here for me. So new virtual machine will be created automatically for me in here. So you will not touch your actual ARM template anymore. So based upon the values what you have in your parameter file in here, so based upon these values, my new virtual machine will be created for me. That's the advantage of having your parameter file concept within your ARM template. Okay. So this is start running. So it may take a little bit time to come up in here so that you can go ahead and you can see new virtual machine coming up in here. Right. So that's the part of your ARM template, guys, which is very, very important in real-time perspective here. Where how can you implement the thing using a portal level at the same time? How can you implement the thing using your command lines level in here? So this is very, very important. This is how actually you try to go and try to create your resources with respect to my templates in here, ARM templates. So let me check. Still running. Go back to
Sham,
my.
Sham.
Yamuda.
Yeah, just wanted to ask you, like, in a real-time perspective, like, what does the client usually ask, like, if we want to make in a virtual machine?
I didn't get your question. What line?
Like, in real-time perspective, what does the client ask us to make? What does he want us to make every day, or like, what exactly do we make? Like, what do we create?
Actually, in real-time perspective, you will never create virtual machine first thing. You will
Okay,
try to create web application because the virtual machine, what you're trying to create in here, the virtual machine will be created internally by a web application. So web application is the one, as you already know that it's just coming up with your URL. So that is the actual one you will try to create, but not the virtual machine directly.
oh, okay,
Yeah, that is the reason we also have the ARM template for web application as well, app
okay,
services.
absolutely.
And Mudar, the small request,
Yes.
uh, call me a little bit no low voice.
Oh, okay, fine.
I'm in silent and suddenly calling me.
Okay, sorry, my bad.
I'm checking something. You all have to call me, right? It's okay. Generally, call me, not a problem, but a little bit low voice. Okay, just a small
I,
request.
I think sometimes my voice doesn't go to you, so that's why I speak
No,
little
no, it
loud.
comes. It comes. It's very loud in here, so
Got it, got it.
I know it's very silly, too funny to ask you this thing, but it's happening for me.
No problem. Sorry, and I'll
So that
I'll
are
try my best. Yeah.
I don't think otherwise, huh?
Yeah, no, not a problem.
Yeah, okay. Okay, finally, I can see my the other virtual machine also got created successfully, and the same the different name in here. See the what are the name which I mentioned in my parameter file, and that's been created in my with using your DevOps-rg in here. So if you simply now if you go ahead and try to make the changes within your the parameter file, automatically new things will be coming up in here. So this is the see try to understand the process, that's it. So what kind of things you want to maintain, what kind of the resources you want to create, that will be based upon the requirement what you have. And anyway for everything you will be having your templates available, so you can get the templates and we make the changes, necessary changes here and there, and you can run it. But what is the process, what are the things you have to follow to maintain the things in here? So that is the nothing but your ARM template with along with the parameterization concept in here. Okay, so now going ahead, and I would like to delete my resource groups because I don't want to have this anymore in here. It's a waste of time for me, unnecessary. So it will be charged. So how can you delete it? AZ group delete resource group name. It's VRIT hyphen RG. Yeah, I want to go and delete that. So this is like I'm trying to delete my resource group so that along with my resource group, whatever the resources I have internally, that will be deleted in here for me in here. So one I'm trying to go with my exit command, the other one I would like to go and delete from my portal level in here. So default resource group which will be created automatically once you delete, create at least one of the resource group in your subscription level. Right. So that's all about your ARM templates, guys. So now let's move on to a new concept, which is very, very important again, your GitHub. So any idea on GitHub, guys? What do you mean by GitHub? Okay. So GitHub is also, it's a kind of a repository where you can store your code. You can save your code in here. So what is the use of GitHub in here? For suppose think that you are a developer or you have some files with you. It's not a kind of developer, you have some kind of code with you in here. So you being a developer or we being something DevOps engineer, we have some kind of code with us. So code is available. So where do you write the code in generally? We write the code in the local system, right? Within your virtual machine, or you may write the things in local system. So when you write the code in local system in here, so suppose you have a file one in here, file1.txt or some .html, what are the things you have in here. So later on you have one more, you have updated the code, and you have now you need to send this particular code to whom? To my onshore team in here, so that they can add more code to this particular file one in here. So now how do you send the code in here? The first thing is like you can send using your email. Second thing, you can again second thing you can again send using your file share. If you remember the file share, we have saw that. The second thing is we have can come with along with a file share in here. And third thing, you can go with something called as your GitHub. So email is not secure for sure. File share, yes, this is possible. We can use it in a secure mode. The other way, how you have here is GitHub. So what is the difference between file share and GitHub in here? So in your file share, suppose you place a file in here, file1.txt. So now generally when you want to update the things in here, what you will do, you will open your file in here, you write down your code, whatever you want in here, and you save it. Okay, so now you can keep on saving things and it will become a very big file in here. That's good. But but here you have only one version, only one version of file in here. So you will not have more versions. Suppose I want to get back, I want to see my file which is in very earlier stages, just like a kind of 3 or 5 lines of code I have. I want to see only that particular part, or I have deleted some code unfortunately and I want to revert that back. I revert that now again. So I can't see all those things because you have only one file, only one version of file, and you already saved it. So once you saved it, you can't revert it. Correct. But with respect to my GitHub, you can have all the versions of your files. How many times, suppose for the first time you have uploaded your file to my cloud like file1.txt in here. Okay, so now later on you added more code. When you add more code, when you're trying to push the file again to my, this is my remote location. This is also like a kind of a cloud I am having in here. This is like a place where I'm trying to store in my cloud with using my GitHub things in here. So when I try to add more code and I want to push my same file again, it's not like your file one will be replaced with my new version of file things in here. Of course, we can see the latest file in here. At the same time, it also maintains my previous versions as well. So you can see file1.txt, which has been uploaded on, for example, 1st Jan 2022 in here. Similarly, I can see the file1.txt, which is uploaded at around 15 Jan 2022 in here. So I can see each and every version available within my GitHub, where you don't see that within your file share in here. Okay, within file share, it's like a normal notepad what you have. So when I open any notepad in here, when I double click on it and I make any changes and save it, that's it. That will be saved. You cannot revert it again to the older one. But that is in this particular GitHub case, it will helpful for you. It will try to store all the versions of your things what you have in here. That's the advantage of having to go into my GitHub in here. Okay, so GitHub is the one where it's like a cloud. It's like it's like a storage which is available in internet. It's like a cloud what you are trying to work on. So instead of providing it in your file share, what you do, I'll try to push my code to my GitHub in here. So what, being an offshore guy, you develop the code, you develop the code and you push it to cloud. What do you mean by cloud in here? Nothing but my GitHub. Okay, and from here, that's what you're trying to do here. You're trying to push the code to my GitHub. Similarly, what the offshore onshore people will do, they will try to pull the code what you have in the cloud, and based upon that code what you have, they will try to append more code in here, and finally they again push the things to cloud again. Cloud in the sense here it's GitHub again. So it's like it's like a cycle. So whatever you do, write down the things and push it to a cloud in here, and again pull the latest file from your cloud, append the new code, and again push the code back in here. And once you come tomorrow, again offshore people will try to pull your things from the cloud, do the things and push it back again. So it's like a cycle, pulling and pushing. But how many times you push, those many versions will be created within your GitHub. So if you want to revert back, yes, if you want to revert the code, yes, you can do that successfully. I can see my earlier codes as well, earlier files as well. How many times you commit the data, how many times you commit your file, your code, those many versions of files will be available within your GitHub. So if they want to pull the previous one, yes, they will be, it's available in here. That's the advantage. The reason being, most of the real time as well, your code what you're trying to write, they will try to add or they will try to save within your GitHub rather than with going with your file share content. Okay, so now how can I go to my GitHub? So is it like a separate account we have in here? Yes, we do have separate account in here. So we should be able, we will be creating a separate account in GitHub as you have your account in your, with your Azure in here. So how can you do that? See here, I'm going back. Okay, let me delete this one. So I'm going back here to my Google, and here I'm trying to say GitHub sign in, for example. So I can see now sign in to GitHub. If I click on this one, probably I may ask my user and password because I already have my login credentials in here. But I want you people to see, you can see, create an account in here. So can we have anybody in here so they can volunteer and they create a GitHub account with here. So you no need to provide any card details, nothing in here. It's a free of cost. It's not like your Azure. Anybody want to come up? Because I already have my account with me. For that reason being, I'm asking you people, any one of you to come up to be a volunteer to create your GitHub account in here. Okay, Mudda, you want to go with? So I'm going to make you presenter then. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, please share your screen. I'll guide you to create the account. Yeah, that's great. So go ahead and you can say sign up. Now here, wait, yeah, it's a enter your email ID. Enter your email ID in here. Click on continue. Create your password. Continue. This is, email ID is different. Your username is different. Username will be useful to log in the account. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. And would you like to receive products? You can say no, and or if you want to get it, you can say why. It's up to your wish. Yeah. So start puzzle. So they need to choose a galaxy. Yeah. Second row. Yeah. Yeah. First row, last one. Okay. Create an account now. So probably they'll send a code to your email ID. Just go ahead and try to provide it here. Yeah, GitHub. So the number 51408. Back to my sheet here. Yeah, you can now, once you can see teammates, just me. You can go like a just me in here. Yeah, continue. I am a student. Yes, continue. Come down, more down. So this is like, they're trying to go with, you can say team administration. Yeah, click on continue. You can continue for free. Yeah, that's it. A very beautiful graphics coming up, and this is your dashboard. Okay, this is your where you can create your repository. I mean, like creating. So go ahead and left hand side you can see create repository, and here you can create the name what you want to go with. So you can go with something, some yeah. This is a repository name you're trying to provide. And here, what kind of repository it is? Is it like your public repository or is it like a private repository you have in here? So based upon the things you can take it. So generally go with public for now, okay? So that it will be useful. Even though it's a private, you're able to access, not a problem. But one thing I have, like I want to clone this repository back into my system using some kind of tools. So the tools may not allow you if you are a private. So for that reason being, I would like to go with your public currently. And you can add any one other .readme file in here. So if you're trying to create a new repository, you're just trying to add a dummy file as part of a code currently. So this file contains your repository name. That means your Muddasar. So what the name you provided may contain that, and simply go ahead and say create your repository. So enabling creating this one. Now see, I can see my repository got created with the name Muddasar, and I can see readme.md file in here, and within that I can see my file name, the name of my repository in here. So the same thing again, Muddasar in here. So this part where you have in here, this is like you'll be having it in your cloud level. So in the URL you can see it's a github.com. So it's in the internet. It's a cloud level you have in here. But what you want to do now? I would like to push my code which I wrote in my local machine to my cloud level in here. So how can you push it? So what is syntax is you have to follow for that. So let's see that particular part now. So I'm sharing my screen back. Thanks a lot, Mudda sir, for your contribution on this here. Go ahead. Yeah. Okay. So let me check it out. So to have your, to write the now what I want to do, let me go with my things as well. So here it's 2810 and here and my password. Thanks. Okay, so I already have these many here. So let me delete. So to delete the things, I'll tell you how can you delete your repository once you create the things in here. So what you do, you go back to once you create a repository, you can see all the repositories in here. Okay. So now click on the repository what you want to delete it. Once you delete, see I can have my sample file in here and I can see my all the code what is in here. So don't forget about all the things. So go to settings because I want to just delete it. It's in here. Go to settings. At the bottom, you can see some danger zone. Okay, everything will be red in color in here. Okay, so here you can say delete this repository. So once you click on delete this repository, it's asking us to type in this particular part to confirm. So just copy the things what they have mentioned and just say I understand the consequences. Yes, it will be do it again, delete it, not a problem for me. So the same thing I'm trying to go and I'm trying to mention the same part. I'm trying to delete the things for us. And the last one, branch rep. Okay, so with this one, I have created all my repositories in here. So what I'll do, I will try to, so small space read not enable. Okay, now I don't have anything in this. So it's asking me to create a first project in this. So I'm creating my repository. So some name, kind of some web app. So this name is available, and I'm going to go to public, and I'm going to add a readme file, create a repository. Perfect. So I can see the same name as I told, the same web as my repository name within my readme.file in here. So now this is the where it is in, it's in github.com under my account in here, and this is my repository name in here. So this is as per the URL. So now using the same URL, what I want to do, I want to push my code. My code is available in my local machine here. My code is available in local machine here. So what I want to do, I want to push my code to my Git cloud in here. So to push it, what I have to do is like, I have to go ahead and I have to what? Clone my repository in here. So what is the repository I have in here? So this particular repository, what is the repository name? Web application. I have to pull this repository first of all to my local machine. Then automatically I can place my code within that particular repository in my local machine in here, and later on I can push it back to my cloud. So without cloning your repository, cloning is nothing but I'm going to copy my repository. Repository means what are the things I have. Currently I'm having my readme.md file in here, right? So along with this dummy file, I would like to have my things within my locally first. Then I will try to copy my whole code in the same repository, and later on again I want to push it back. So now the syntax is like, okay, how can you clone the repository? That's the first thing in here. Again now, how can we clone the repository? How can you clone the repository to your local machine in here? So the syntax for that is, how to find git. See, till now, whatever the commands you wrote with respect to my AZ, everything you wrote using a command starting with AZ, because it's Azure CLI. For that reason, you wrote AZ in here, right? Similarly, here, this is what? This is my Git CLI. So I have to download, as you download Azure CLI, similar to that, you have to download your Git CLI. So after creating a account in your web application within your GitHub, what you do, go to the Google and you can download your Git CLI download. So just click on your Git CLI download in here, and you can see downloads Git. So while downloading this particular part, you can see the latest source release download for Windows. You can click on this, my download will start automatically, and you can download it. Okay, so why do we have this? Or I think you can click on 64-bit again in here. Now it's getting downloaded in here. Okay, so why I'm downloading it here? Because we have been downloading to run my Git commands. As you download your Azure CLI, similar to that, I'm trying to download my Git CLI in here. So once you download a Git CLI, what you do, download 64-bit as per your Windows system, what you have in here. So once you download it, install it. It's a very simple, straightforward one. Click, and complete it. Install it, and now how can I make sure whether my Git CLI has been installed successfully or not? So what you do, simply say Git. See, I can see lot many commands coming up when I say Git in here. So if the Git is not there, it will may ask to say that the Git is not recognized externally or internal as internal external command in here. But once you install Git and when you say Git in your command prompt, then automatically you can get the things back in here. So it's not required, to have all those things in. So you can go with this normal C drive. So again, you can say Git. And no, sorry. So here C drive Git, and I'm able to get the things back in here, all the things. So using your multiple commands, you can see push, you can see pull, you have fetch, you have branch. So all these are what different commands. Probably they'll be asking you in your interview point of view as well. Okay, these are also one of the important interview point of view questions here, guys. So what is the difference between pull and fetch? See, they're clearly mentioning you the things in here, what they want to, what they tend to go with in here. So they're trying to, they may ask you for your interview point of view as well. So once you download the CLI, what you do, you can go and check for your Git engine. Automatically, you should see all these commands coming up automatically. So now that means your Git has been successfully installed within your system. So now what I want to do, I want to clone my repository to my local machine first. So for that, Git, and I have an option called as clone. So you can see this even the clone, see clone. Okay, the cloning a repository into your new directory means in here, so local machine what you can go within here. So git clone, and you have to follow the syntax, something like, okay, you want to clone my repository, very good, no problem. Can you please tell me where is the repository? That means it's asking for the URL in here. It's asking for your locator, uniform resource locator in here. So where it is, go back to my sham folder, I mean the GitHub in here, and see, once you get into this code level, you can see some code in green color tab in here, some button. Click on this and you can see the same old, see the same URL, GitHub sham 2810 web application, GitHub sham 2010 web application, same thing, but .git. So this the same URL you can copy. So you don't need to copy, you can select all this and no need to see Control C. You can see some square brackets open here. When you click on this one, it's also the URL what you have will be copied. Now go ahead and try to provide the URL. That's it. So by running this particular command, what will happen? The Git repositories, what you have with respect to this web application, this repository will be downloaded along with the files what it contains to your local machine. Okay, so let's go ahead and try to run this command now. Control C, go back here. Oh, okay, anyway, no problem. What is that? Git clone and the URL. So let me copy one more time. Go back here. Hit on enter. But yeah, before hitting on enter, I would like to mention one thing. So when you say this git clone and the URL in here, automatically it will be downloaded to your local machine. The repository will be saved to local machine for sure. But do you have a specific area where you want to save the things, or do you want to clone in your C drive under my Dell in here? So this is not the right way. I mean, this is not the correct path. I don't want to clone in here. Where do I want to clone? I want to clone in my Azure DevOps training, and under I have Git folder. Inside this folder, I want to clone my things in here. So for that reason, what you have to do is like just copy your path. And before getting this particular part in here, navigate to the so and so path so that you can clone within the respective path where you are into. So currently I'm into this path, see D drive, hitting on enter. So now I'm into currently Azure and Git in here. So if I say directory, I don't see anything, say nothing, 0 bytes, nothing is there. Do you see anything in here? Nothing. Now what I want to do, now I want to clone my things within my folder in here. So copy and right click. Don't know why it doesn't, my copy doesn't work. Git clone and the URL. So again copy one more time, hit on enter. Now go ahead. When I hit on enter, my web app new folder will be cloned to where? To my Git folder in here. So it's cloning into my web application. So what are the things you have in here with respect to my web application? So currently with respect to me, this particular code, I can say readme.md. So along with this particular file, it will be started cloning to my local machine. So totally now it's been done. If you go back to clone now, with GitHub, I can see my web application. So it's created on February 25th, 9:29 a.m. in here. When you double click on it, see I can see readme.file. When you double click on it again, I can see web application. The same thing what you see in here. Okay, so now what you want to do? I want to push my code, right? I want to push my code. So now if you have to place, okay, I don't want this one anymore. Delete this. I don't want, but there is just a dummy file you have in there. So what I want to do, let me try to create a new file in here. So this is like a called as a sample dot or not text. So this is my new file I am having in here. Double click on it. I would say this is the sample file. Set. So this is the new thing I have in here where I'm trying to have my own code within my same folder where it got cloned. So now how can I push this particular code? Placing it here doesn't reflect to your cloud directly. It doesn't reflect to your things in here. You can still see the same old file in here. So I need to follow some kind of syntaxes to push my code to my to my cloud in here. So here, how can we push the code to GitHub? So what is syntax we have to follow in here? So we have few syntaxes to follow. We have few standards to follow in here. The first thing is like you have to say git add. Later on we have to say git commit, and then we have to say git push. Okay. So I'm going to write as of now git add and the file name in here. Later on I have to say git commit because I want to commit with some comments in here. So what are the commands? Some comments you can provide in here. And finally I would say git push. Git push. So these are the steps you have to follow. So why do we need to follow these many steps? What do you mean by git add in here? Why you need to have committing in here? And what do you mean by git push? Of course, by looking into the same thing, you can see, understand that you're trying to push your things. You're pushing your things to my remote location again. But what are these comments in here? Why are you trying to add? Why do you go with the git add file? Or I can say git add and simply dot without having a file name in here. What do you mean by this particular part in here? So we'll see all this together in your next classes. Okay, on Monday back and again. Okay, so try to create your GitHub account, guys, so that you can you can run GitHub as well as download your Git CLI and try so that you can run your Git commands and we can push or pull the codes or clone the things in here. All the things what we can do it here. Okay, so that it will help you for your practicing purpose. So that's things for today, guys. So any questions with respect to my GitHub? I have shared yesterday, Chandra. You did not got it, or else I'll talk with Ravi sometime probably. Okay, I'm very sorry for that. Probably he missed it to send it. I asked him, I already shared him yesterday, but somehow he did not send it. Okay, I'll talk with him today sometime so that he can send to the in here. Yeah, yeah, sure.
Yeah, hi Sham, Jitendra here. Uh, so basically, once open that create parameters, VM underscore create underscore parameters file, the third one.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically here we have only parameters. Like, could you please scroll bit down? I hope here we have resource group and everything, right? Or only parameters.
So this is the same old thing what you already saw when you try to run your ARM template. Only the thing what I have made is like, what are the
Mhm.
parameters you want to go with? For that, remove the hard coded value. That's it. See here, I removed my hard code value for my public IP name. Similarly, I removed my value from my OS function. I removed my value from my
Okay.
VM size. I removed my value from my location. And also I removed the value from my VM size. So before running this one, since there is no values in here, it will try to ask from you. So if you're not placing a parameter file, for example, and you're trying to run this particular part in here, it will ask you directly within your command prompt. Because if you remember earlier, you did not have value for my user ID and password. So when you're trying to run directly, what it asked you for username and password, right? So now what is happening? Now you have removed your values from my public IP, you removed the values from my OS version, similarly for location and all other things in here as well, my VM name in here. So to fill in this particular part, I'm using a parameter file. Okay, if you are not providing the parameter for example, so here I'm having my, I'm not using my parameter file. I'm trying to go directly with the same command in here. See what will happen. Copy it. I think I don't have my DevOps, but anyway, let me check if it asks it's okay. Yeah, see, okay, I have to go to my path where I have my parameter files in here. So my templates. So copy. So since you removed the values, it will ask you your username, password. See, it found error because I don't see DevOps RG in here. So if you have similar to this one, it will ask you for your other values as well, what you have in here. Your VM name, your VM size, everything here. But simply remove this totally. Probably it may not ask you because you have mentioned this default value. If you totally remove this one, then it may ask you within your command prompt. Okay, so but
Okay.
now currently what's happening in here, since you have this default value but it's showing you null value, so this value will be pulled from where? From your parameter file in here. So this is the
Yeah.
one where you'll be tagging the things in here. Understood?
Yeah. Yeah. Got you. But in that file, we have that resource group section.
No, we don't have resource group in here. Where do you see
Okay.
resource group
Then
in?
no, right? So I mean, how it will create resource group there? I mean, just to understand the
That's what,
flow.
right? You are trying to mention the
Mm-hmm.
resource group here only before implementing your template files, parameter ARM templates in here. And this is, as I told you, this resource group should be available before running this particular command in here. So I currently see I don't have a resource group. So what it do? It says that this resource group, what you mentioned in here, could not be found. It thrown error. So resource group not found message in here. So you have to create a resource group by beforehand, and then we have to use the existing resource group within your template in here, within your command line in here. Then only it will go and run the things for you.
Okay.
Understood?
So under this resource group, I want to create any storage account like that. So I need to pass that parameter there, right?
Yeah, if you want to run your ARM template for your storage account, then again you have to mention the resource group for sure. Then you
Yeah.
have to
In the syntax, yeah, in the syntax, I have to pass that resource group and storage account. I have to give there, right, in the file, template file.
you want to create a storage account, okay?
Resource group I have to give in this syntax, and the storage account, whatever the new storage account that I am going to create. So that have to pass that in the parameters file, right?
Exactly.
How it will.
Resource
Okay.
group you will not pass on the storage account. You know what to say.
Hmm.
The resource group name will not be passed in the parameter file. The resource group should pass in here only
Yeah, yeah. I mean, in the syntax itself. Yeah.
within syntax.
Yep, yep.
So based
Hmm.
upon this particular resource group, your storage account will be created.
Okay. So in the variable file, simply we can change the file name. I mean,
Yeah,
like
the
the storage
variables
account.
change the things what you require, which keeps on changing it. User ID, password, all the things. So here I mentioned my location. But even this is not necessary because anyway you have a default code for your location in your ARM template, like where sent to your location to the resource that was there earlier. If you go with the standard one, So these are the standard keys I have in here. To go back down to my location, see default value that I trying to pull from your location, resource group location.
Yeah. Okay.
So you don't need to mention this particular location in your parameter file even in here. So you can ignore this particular entry if you want, and remove this entry in here because
Okay.
location has
So
been
here.
tried to pull from your
Mhm.
the resource group what you mentioned at the syntax level.
Okay. And there is a VM name parameter, right? So instead of that, I can pass that storage account parameter there, right?
Yes, yes, you can write down any name over there. It's not like there's no standard on there, but only the thing is like you have to maintain your file in a JSON format.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
JSON.
yeah.
That's it. You can provide any name. Your name hyphen
No,
parameter.
no, not that one, not that one. Once open that file,
This one.
VM parameters. Yeah,
Yeah.
come down. There is a VM name, right? So VM name value variety VM. So instead of VM name to create storage account, I have to give like storage account name,
Storage
and the
account
value
name.
will be like.
You're asking that one. So you have to go to storage account ARM template. Check what
Mm-hmm.
kind of things they're trying to go within here. Storage account type is there, and resources you're trying to create the name. Yeah, see, unique SA name. This is what they
Mm-hmm.
tend to go with. It is available in the parameters. So you have to mention
Okay.
unique SA name. So it's not like normal
Okay.
name. So based upon the ARM template, you have to go and that's right. That's what I'm saying you. Whatever you have
Mm-hmm.
within your parameter, this the values, the name exactly match my ARM template. Then only it will try to take care of there. If you don't have the same names, then you may not get
Mm-hmm.
that.
Okay. Okay. Got you.
Okay,
Thank you.
sure, no problem. Okay, then guys, then we can wind up for today. We meet on Monday back in again with more concepts on your GitHub, and we'll see how it goes from there. Okay. Thank you guys. Then have a great day and happy weekend. And we'll be again back in Monday. Bye bye.
Thank you. You too. Bye.